So I got these little baby birds flying around in here today. I guess today is the day they learn how to fly. They've been borrowing my bag over here that's hanging up right there. They've been borrowing that for a couple weeks now. Made them a nest in it. They've been in and out of here, the mom and dad, feeding them. The last week or so, pretty busy. And now they're flying around. How about that? There they are right there on the skateboard up there. Look at that. Oh. So I guess they're taking flying lessons today. Now that is too cute. I've actually been trying to stay out of that corner as much as I can the past week or so, because I know the mom and dad, they've been coming in and out feeding them, and I really love the little birds, so I try to leave them in peace. I let them use my bag there for a while. So it looks like it's finally over. We got that pine tree right there. That's a huge freaking tree. And then there's one right there going up. That's a huge one going up. You can't really see the top of it because I need to cut this maple tree down here. This maple tree is kind of in my way here. This poplar's got to go here. So these three trees right there, they definitely have to go. This poplar here, I think that's a poplar, yep. That one's got to go because those are right where I want my foundation here. These are not the pine type of pine that you buy from like Home Depot or box stores, whatever, as far as soft pine that you buy for framing houses. This is like a different kind of pine, very heavy and hard, and it seems to be great for a foundation. That's what I think I'm using this one and that one right there for. I think I'm gonna mill these two into the foundation because there's a lot of it. They're ugly for one, so you definitely want to take them down because they're just so ugly. Look how bushy that is, and pine cones, whatever kind of pine cones, they're not pretty trees, but they are great heavy hardwood. They're actually a little difficult to mill with a chainsaw. Definitely hard on the chain and a bar. It's well worth it. But we got to take this one down. That one's big and bushy, as you can see. And that one right there. So these two, and they're on both sides of the spot here that I want to turn into my driveway. That one looks like it's leaning out that way towards the woods out that way. So I'll just drop that one, probably try to just drop it maybe through the hole right there where I want the driveway. Just drop it out that way. Then this one, it looks like it's leaning right towards me, coming this way. So I'm gonna have to clear some of this out. When you actually get up in this brushy stuff to get to it here. Big old pine. So you can tell it is leaning way over that way. So it's gonna wanna fall out there. So I'm gonna have to clear all this out. I know I'm taking them two down. They're gonna be a part of the project. I'm trying to figure out the order I wanna do this. I know this little maple tree, that definitely has to go. This one, that one's gotta come down for sure. But I could also possibly wait until later and actually mill this when I need it for, you know, siding or roofing, and trying to figure out the order that I want to cut this stuff down and clear it out. The last 3-4 days I was working on all this out here where I actually want to build. Now that I'm actually seeing that this tree right here is definitely going to come across the trail here, going out there. It looks like I'm going to have to start clearing that out too. I might need to spend a day or two actually cleaning this up. Cutting down some of these trees, getting them out of the way. Because if this big pine tree comes and falls this way, it's gonna clip that tree for sure, just bending over. It's gonna hit some of these other trees. So I might be better off just go ahead and taking a few of these small ones down out of the way here that I know it's gonna get tangled up with. Blow some of this out, go ahead and clean it up. It'll be way less mess to clean after it falls. At least the trees that I know for a fact that it's gonna get tangled up with, might as well get them out of the way. Bunch of this mess here. Man, I'm going on another backpack blowing, cleaning spree before I really get into cutting stuff down. That's pretty much what I'm doing. Starting to drag all this stuff out of here and clean it up. I was not actually planning on cleaning another area today. I actually came over here with a couple chainsaws ready to start cutting down some of these trees and clearing some of the bigger stuff, but I gotta do some of the small, tedious stuff first before I start dropping the big stuff. It just makes more sense, you know. Need to clean up all this mess before I add more small mess to it. It is what it is. Found a friend over here under the leaves. What's up, dude? Is that your hole? And a couple holes under here by this tree. I don't know if this is his spot or what. Is that your spot, man? It looks pretty big about his size. Uncovered a bunch of branches here. Get out of here. Some old rotten stuff there. Oh, it's gonna be a lot of cleanup out here. That's part of clearing land, though. All this dead stuff from years and years, falling out of the trees and everything, but that's why I like to do sections, though. That way, once you do the section, clear it all out, get all the branches gone, then the next fall, when those leaves fall, it's a lot easier to blow it. Once you blow all the leaves in the section to an area, like this section here, it looks like it's gonna go down into this valley across the trail here. Gonna blow it across this trail here, down into this valley here, to where I don't know if I'll eventually just burn it there, burn it clean, or what. That seems like the best way to clear these sections for the first time, is to burn it, and then the next time it's all fresh soil for the next fall. And then one thing we have a lot of people comment about is making a box to put leaves and food and all that stuff in to create your soil, bin, whatever you want to call it. We've had comments on that, but we actually have that all over the land in the valleys. We can go down and get rotten leaves and stuff that's been laying there for years. So we have that all over our property, really, for gardening and stuff. So anytime we do start gardening, go down there and get that rotten stuff. What the heck? But anyway, my point is that every fall, once I get to know clearing these sections, I know where to blow it to. I'll have designated burn spots, or the word that I'm looking for, an area for the stuff to sit and become compost bin. Compost. I just blew out all of this. I'm guessing I was blowing well over an hour. I don't know, maybe time was creeping slower. I don't know. But we got this area blown out. I ain't quite done yet. I just ran it until it ran out of gas. So I still got to blow it, all this stuff across the trail over there into the compost area over there. It's one of the main comments I get when I'm cleaning up all these leaves and burning them. People say that I need to save it for compost. But as you can see, I have all of these valleys around the whole property, and it's full of leaves, and basically, I guess you could call it compost because it's been there for years, rotting. So I could go down there with a shovel and a bucket or a rake and rake it up and shovel it into my trailer or a bucket and put it right in the gardening soil. So we have plenty of that everywhere. I'm not too worried about that. Starting to look nicer. Now I got to trim some of this stuff out, cut some of these trees down, and we'll be ready to drop that big old pine tree. You can kind of see it over there. And that thing is probably going to come to about right here. I'm guessing the top of it is going to land right in here somewhere. That's my guess. That's what I'm probably going to be aiming for. And it's way up there. There's the top way up there. So that should be coming and landing right in here. I'll clear all this out. That way, once it falls in here, I'll have plenty of room to work. Cut up the top of the tree, start milling. Why am I building the shop back here and not up front with everything else? I actually want the shop away from everything else. At night, say Elion and Holly or whoever's sleeping, I can work all I want back here, be as loud as I want, use tools all night long if I want to. Not only that, but eventually I'm thinking there's probably going to be the main cabin back here. If I ever do build a home here, it's probably going to be back here where the wood drying rack is, in the back of the property, all the way in the back, where we're going to build a cool cabin one day. That's if we end up living here. Right now, we're just kind of out here camping. I'm building literally a campground here. It's kind of an ATV park. More than likely going to end up being a business, and we might end up buying a house or moving somewhere else one day. So that's why we're not like super focused on a house. We're just kind of out here camping cabins. And I do want a workshop out here to answer those questions. I want to work right here. I want this to be my workshop. Camping cabin over there. I want that row over there. Valley peak. That peak there's got valleys on both sides of it. So I'm planning on that being like a row of cabins. I don't know how many. But yeah, that's just all talk. You know what I mean? This is future plans. And but anyway, building a shop right here, away from everything. That way, if I'm out here at night, I need to crank up a generator. I'm away from all of that. I can crank my generator up and work back here while everybody's sleeping if I want to, if I choose to. There's a couple of jars over here uncovered. I don't know what this is. And what else did I see over here? Here's one. A little jar. Looks like it's kind of the same color as those. That one is in the dirt. I need a shovel or something to pry that one out. Let me see. I seen another one. Oh, there it is. That's a big old jar. There's a lid on it. I guess there was no... Oh, the lid kind of rusted off of it. Made in USA. Yeah, first when I seen these, I thought it was either a bong or a vase. And I guess I was wrong about both. Let's see. Is that 18? Does that say 1873? No deposit, no return. I just got done blowing leaves for like 2 hours today. It is the next day. I blew leaves all day yesterday up until nighttime, until I took a shower, and I was so wore out. I pretty much took a shower, ate dinner, went to bed. Today, 2 more hours and blew leaves. So I've been blowing leaves forever. I don't really want to record any of it. I just put out a leaf blowing cleanup video. I didn't want to do all that. I blew all of this out. All of this whole section here. I blew out all the way across the trail. All of these branches and stuff were actually covered with leaves. You couldn't even see the piles. This is the second time I've done this area kind of right here, but I didn't do all that over there. The shelter here, I've actually cleared all this out before, blew it all out, and it was all clear too until all this green started growing back around here this spring. I can safely burn this pile sometime. I'll probably wait for a good rain, maybe let everything get wet around it, and then probably catch it on fire so it won't be too insane and spread anywhere. Blew all of this whole section, all of these leaves, I blew them all out there. The leaves that I blew on top of the pile, that was just kind of right here that I blew that way. And I cleared all this stuff out, blew out this trail a little bit. That's a trail going that way. And I blew it all across this trail over to this side where I was saying I might end up burning this. So I blew all of this land all across this trail out to here. So later on, I'll probably blow all this out over there and blow it towards this pile. I think this is gonna be one of the designated burning areas for when I do this seasonally. Every fall, blow all the leaves like I just did to right there. That section all get blown to that pile over there. And then this section here, eventually one of these days when I get to it, probably not this year, but all that'll end up getting blown down that way. Designated burn area down in that ravine. What I'm doing as I go is just figuring this out. And maybe one day I'll be rich enough to hire somebody, a couple people to come out here with backpack blowers and help me during the fall months. There's a trail going down that way. This place is awesome with the ATV trails. This is kind of where the generator is over here, and another designated burn area. This also gonna be a spot right there where you can see it's black. That's where I burned that huge fire that burnt for like 3 days. I burned it right there because I blew all of that around the cabin down this way into this valley. So this is also going to be a designated burn spot. I blow all the stuff down this hill to right there. So That's what's up. And eventually, I guess those could be compost spots also, or at least maybe one of them might be a designated compost pile for leaves to actually let that pile sit. So that answers that question. Are we ever gonna compost for gardening? Yes. Right now, I think that's also a problem that we're having, and that's kind of what I'm doing as I'm building. I built the one camping cabin, the guest cabin. Now I'm building the shop. We're just filling out the land. We've only been here a year. We're figuring things out, where we want buildings, where we actually want to put stuff. We have people asking us about like an outhouse, where are you going to do the shower? Just a lot of questions about where we're doing things. And most of the stuff we just don't know. We're only 2 people and we're trying to get to everything. Like a garden. We thought we were going to do a garden this year. I can't do everything. I want to build a shop. I kind of feel like I should have built a shop first instead of the guest cabin. At the same time, I want our company to be comfortable when they come here. I think that's pretty important. When we have friends come, there's somewhere to sleep, or if there's a bad storm, we can sleep in the cabin instead of the camper. It's just a cool spot and good entertainment, and that's kind of what I'm doing anyway. I want everything to be like camping cabins. Even my workshop is gonna be kind of a cabin. You know, I'm gonna use it as a workshop, but I'm basically building another cabin. That way, if someone buys this place or one day I turn it into a business, it's gonna be like a campground with camping cabins, and that's just kind of my thing. I love that because that's kind of the memories I have with my dad just passed away. Some of my best memories were camping with him in a camping cabin at the lake, and I have memories with my daughter doing that, and my brother, family members, and it's just one of the things that I've always loved to do is going to rent them little cabins and just camping and fishing and having a fire. So I decided when we bought this place that I'm gonna create the same thing for Elion. You know what I mean? Except he's gonna own his own. Another question is electric. I'm seeing comments like, oh, you should be focusing on getting electric, or you should be focusing on a well. Other homesteaders, they do the well and the electric first. I'm not really worried about electric. I think that running a generator costs the same or less. I don't think it's that outrageous. I think people get very expensive electricity bills these days, and we're not paying a crazy amount to run a generator. I could possibly even run 2 generators, small generators, for the same price that some people pay for electric. You have your deposit. Also, it would cost us money to have it installed. We actually did have them come out, and we talked to them about it, about getting an electric pole out here with some electric hooked up so we could work and do stuff and run cords. And they come and they're talking about permits and this and that. They're saying we pretty much have to have permits and a plan for a house and all this stuff. So I don't know, we just cut it short. We were like, cool, nice talking to you. We're not that worried about it right now. We don't even really, not to really mention money or anything, but we don't really have the money for that. Speaking of other homesteaders, a lot of homesteaders, they don't buy land and just take chances and move out there with no money, no plan. You know, we were basically homeless, going around campgrounds, just surviving. So when we had a chance to buy this land, we jumped on it because we felt like we were better off camping here than having to pay to camp at a campground somewhere. So we came here with no money, no plans. Not many homesteaders do that. Usually they have money and a plan, and they have jobs, and they're like, okay, we can afford to buy some property, have electric hooked up, have a well put in and septic put in, and have a house there. Because most normal people, they're not going to move somewhere and live on some property without a house. You know what I mean? And I don't look at myself as that normal everyday type of person that has to have a house to live or running water or whatever. I just don't worry about that. I'm actually happy living like this. I love living without contracts. I don't have a contract. I've had my electric turned off and had to pay a lot of money to have it turned back on, and then you got to pay it every month. I'm just not worried about that right now. So hopefully that answers that for the millionth time. I'm not that worried about electric. I'm just not. It's the least of my worries. I run a generator. We're fine. I got a refrigerator. We have a generator. I have a refrigerator running off an inverter and batteries. The charger runs off the generator when I run it. I'm just not worried about it. That's the only thing I can really think of that I really need electric for 24/7 is appliances, like to run your refrigerator. I got one, it's running, so it's just not that big of a deal to me. Also, normal homesteaders, you know, they build a house, they spend a lot of money to pay for things like supplies, lumber, and all that stuff. I'm out here with chainsaws, literally just milling cabins out of my trees. So if you could show me a homesteader that's doing that, you know, just coming out here, building buildings for as cheap as possible without going to the store and buying lumber and stuff like that, show me. And I'll get on there and probably watch them and be their friend, because that's awesome. And I love that. And that's what I'm doing out here. I'm just, this is just my hobby. I'm literally making a living just doing my hobby on YouTube and entertaining people as I do it. So, hey, like it or not, I don't care. Another thing about the generator, or running the shop, how I'm gonna run the electricity or power things in the shop, either I'm gonna have 2 generators, or I'm just gonna have to have some super long extension cords. The generator right now, where it's at, is 100 foot away from the camper and the main shelter, and a little less from the cabin. I was actually thinking about getting 200 foot cords and moving it another 100 foot away from all that, basically for noise, to quieten it and to get it away from there. Question: everybody and their grandma talks about me building a shed for the generator. Well, first off, you can't really put a generator in a shed. I guess you could if maybe you vent the roof. From my knowledge, I could be wrong, but I don't think you really want to enclose a generator. First off, it doesn't have a radiator. It's air cooled, so if you block off all the air with walls, it's gonna run hot. That probably won't be good for it. I am planning on, once I figure out the permanent location, like I said, we're just kind of living and learning and figuring out where we permanently want stuff. That's why I haven't built the deck and the roof for it, because I am planning on building like a deck and probably a roof, at least maybe 1 or 2 or 3 walls, and maybe have 1 wall open or something like that for exhaust. But that is a part of the plan. But I think I'm actually gonna get 200 foot cords and move it another 100 foot down. So that would actually move it closer to the shop, to where, I don't know, I haven't measured it, I'm not sure, but I could possibly run another 200 foot cord from the shop, or I can make my own, or double up cords, or do whatever. I can make my own dang power line from the generator to the shop if I want to, because this is my land and I can pretty much do what I want. I'm gonna figure that out later, but that's how I'm gonna run the shop. Off a generator, just like we've been doing, until one day I'm rich and I can run power out here if I want to, or I don't know. I don't even know how long that's even gonna be possible in life. I just don't know the future, and I don't worry about the future, and I don't really necessarily worry about things that I know that I can't control. It's just kind of how I live. You know, if you can't control it, why worry about it, right? I actually built a nest in the ground. That's crazy. I always thought it was like a hole. I didn't realize I actually built a nest in it. Little bitty little guys. Well, it seems like one good rain now would kind of wipe them out. Little dudes. Right there, you can see where I picked that piece of bark up. Well, they don't seem too aggressive. They seem kind of busy, so I guess I can continue working without worrying about them. I mean, I had one on me. There was literally a couple on me, and they didn't even sting me. You could tell they were pissed off. But he's like so tiny, he didn't even sting. Little guys, they got to get you just right to sting you. Guess I'll get back in it. I was taking me a little break after I stirred them up. Since I'm not using the blower and the chainsaws the rest of the evening, I'm just picking stuff up. So I went ahead and got my shorts on and my slides. Worked comfortable.